Ladies and gentlemen, spacers of all ages, the set of the summer is finally here, and that is 10497 Galaxy Explorer. Hey everyone, I'm Adam, aka Ant Bandit, and welcome back to Beyond the Brick, where today we're taking a look at this amazing retro remake of a set. As always, big thanks to LEGO for sending this over for review. Now, hear me out. There are a ton of amazing LEGO sets releasing on August 1st, 2022. We have the new Lion Knights castle, we have new Star Wars, so many great sets to choose from as a LEGO fan. But today, I'm going to be telling you about all the reasons why I think out of all the new releases, this set, the Galaxy Explorer, should be at the top of your wish list when it releases on August 1st. To all my fellow classic space fans out there, we're going to try and find out if this set does actually live up to the expectations of bringing back that legendary theme. Let's get started by taking a look at the packaging. The box for this set looks like it was pulled straight from 1979 with this recreation of the original Explorer box design. We've got the ship posed in the exact same way on the front of the box with that nostalgic space background, that tan surface to represent whatever planet these astronauts have found themselves on. You can see on the bottom here, we also have a logo for 90 years of play, which this set is meant to celebrate. On the back of the box, we get measurements for the ship, along with a few more images of some of the details and features that are included. LEGO, if you're watching this, please do more boxes in this art style. I think it's so fun, and I feel like not just adult fans would be drawn to this type of design because it just presents the set so well. Inside the box, you'll find the instructions and 9 numbered bags and no sticker sheet because there are exactly 0 stickers used in this set, only brand new printed elements, which is really nice. The instructions feature a foreword from Kjeld Kirk Christensen himself and some information about how LEGO approached remaking this classic set. We also get an extensive history of the space line and all of its sub-themes, along with a word from the set designer Michael Sayaki, who is fully decked out in his own red spaceman uniform. It's also mentioned that you can find instructions online for 2 different alternate builds you can make with the parts from the Galaxy Explorer. These are modern remakes of 2 separate classic spaceships, 924 Space Cruiser and 918 one-man spaceship. You can disassemble your Explorer and use the parts to create these 2 alternate ships, or you can of course buy additional copies if you want to build an entire space fleet. I love that LEGO has brought back alternate builds with this set. I think that adds so much value. I would love to see that included in even more sets aimed at the adult crowd. Let's take a look at the minifigures included. In total, you get 4 classic astronauts, 2 in red and 2 in white, and these look spectacular. I have a couple of the original astronaut minifigs from the first Galaxy Explorer here, and you can tell that even though the printing on these is not incredibly detailed, the modern remakes are still a perfect recreation of those classic minifigs, and I love that that old helmet mold has returned. And even though he's not a minifig, you get this great build for this droid with these coffee cups. He wasn't included in the original Explorer, but it's still great to see him here. You might be wondering, where's Benny, the blue astronaut? Why isn't he in this set? That's because the original Galaxy Explorer didn't include the blue astronaut because he was released many years after the original red and white spaceman. Now let's talk about the actual model. This thing has a ton of impressive detail on it. I was really surprised about how large it is in person and just how easy it is to hold. The build itself uses a ton of interesting connections and techniques to get all of the different angles and shapes that you see, and it's surprisingly sturdy. The value for swooshability here is top notch. With this set being a remake, of course we need to take a look at how it compares to the original Galaxy Explorer, which I have right here. Seeing these side by side, you can immediately notice the size difference between these two, with the remake being scaled up about 1.5 times larger than the original model. Going through a few of the notable differences between these two, most obviously the original features that older discontinued light gray color, while the remake uses the much brighter light bluish gray. Also, on the original, you can see that the wings have large sections of exposed studs, while the remake uses these really nice tiled, sleek edges. I think that looks really good, but I like that they kept a lot of the studs on the wings exposed as an homage to that original design. One of my favorite details that's translated from the original is this print of this white arrow on the side of the Explorer. On the remake, it's no longer a print, it's actually built using pieces with an ingenious building technique that uses a Nexonite shield on the inside. One of the biggest departures from the original design is the cockpit. Now in the original, you can open up the inside by raising this trans yellow plate, but the new version replaces that entirely with two large canopy pieces that can open individually. I really like how much of the interior you can see through these big windscreen pieces, and if you want to remove them entirely, you can just lift them out of that center section here. Inside that front section of the cockpit, we have seats for all four of our spacemen, along with some brand new printed tiles for some of those control panels that look really good. Opening up that second canopy, there's even more detail inside with more of those control panel pieces and two beds that even have room for the astronauts to lay down without having to remove their air tanks. Going to the back of the ship, this is my favorite feature of the set. You can swing either end of the ship open to reveal this loading bay that has a rover in it. You can lower this ramp and roll the rover out. This is such a fun feature, and I love that the loading bay connects to the rest of the ship using this sliding airlock. The underside has some retractable landing gear that surprisingly uses pieces found in the Mario sets. You can also remove the engines on the side of the Explorer to create smaller vehicles for the spacemen to ride around on. Though I think riding on a giant engine is probably not the safest way to get around. Now, I already know that some of you are thinking, but he hasn't said anything negative about this set so far. And honestly, that's truly because personally, I don't think there's anything to criticize here. This is overall just a great set. It's got some really smart building techniques. We've got some cool retro figs, some great pieces with those printed elements, and all for $99, which is actually an incredibly fair price for everything that you get here. All that said, I'm sure there will be fans out there who prefer something like the Lion Knight's castle over this, and that's totally okay. But in my personal opinion, the Galaxy Explorer is way cooler and at a much better price. I will add that with both the Explorer and the castle being inspired by sets or themes that were released around the 80s, hopefully it's not too long before we see another classic theme brought back to modern times, maybe something from the 90s like Wild West or The Adventurers. I think either of those themes would be awesome to see return. And that's about it for this review. If you want to watch our video on the Lion Knight's castle, make sure to go check that out. Once again, I'm Adam. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.